Welcome to the Deep Dive, the show where we take a stack of sources and just get right into all the fascinating details.
And today we are taking a break from the usual headlines.
We are. We're doing a high-octane detour into a source that is, frankly, just blowing up the charts right now.
Yeah.
The novel is called Hard Frost. We've got the full text, and our mission today is to really unpack why this book works so well. We're talking runaway heroine, possessive mountain man, extreme force proximity.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. So if you are looking for that next read you just cannot put down, this deep dive is absolutely for you.
Okay, so let's get into the setup. It throws you right in.
It really does.
Yeah.
I mean, we open on pure desperation. Our protagonist, June, is fleeing. And not just, a bad breakup. She's running from a life of abuse.
The book uses this really chilling phrase to describe her old life: expensive cologne and stale scotch. It tells you everything you need to know.
It does. She's trading that gilded cage for, well, a Montana blizzard.
Yeah, and it's not a casual drive. This is a calculated, almost self-destructive escape. She literally throws her smartphone out the window, swaps the license plates on this old Honda Civic,
And drives straight into a catastrophic storm.
and what's so smart about the writing is how fast the stakes get physical. Her car heater dies, like, almost immediately.
Turning the car into a rolling icebox. It's such a great line.
The cold is basically the second villain in the story.
And it is definitely about to win. Because her whole estate plan, it just falls apart. She sees headlights in the whiteout,
And she panics.
totally panics. She's been found. She swerves onto black ice, and that's it. The car just goes flying.
It's the perfect setup for forced proximity, but with these incredible life-or-death stakes, she ends up nose first in a ditch, way off the road.
Battery's dead.
And her one lifeline, this cheap burner phone she bought, it just shows those two awful words: no service.
Ugh, the worst.
She is completely alone, buried in snow, and hypothermia is setting in. The clock is ticking, and as a reader, you are hooked because, how does she get out of this?
She doesn't. Danger finds her. And it arrives in the form of a man, a very large man carrying a rifle.
This is where the whole story just pivots. Because the guy who finds her, he's not comforting at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
She looks up and just sees this shadow in the snow, this huge figure.
Silas. He's described as a wall of Carhartt canvas and brute force. The initial description is straight up terrifying. The text says he looks, and I'm quoting here, like violence.
The author is definitely playing with survival thriller tropes right there.
Oh, yeah. His voice is a landslide. Deep, gravelly, and just full of aggression. And his first words aren't, "Are you okay?"
No, it's an accusation. You have a death wish, girl.
He's just furious that she's crashed on his private land, that she's blocking his gate.
He looks at her like she was a nuisance. And that friction, that's what makes it so good. If he were some gentle hero, there'd be no story.
Right. But he's also pragmatic. He takes one look at her and knows. He says she's got maybe 30 minutes before hypothermia shuts your heart down.
And this is the moment. The physical danger starts to twist into this really intense romantic tension.
He doesn't hesitate. He just acts. He scoops her up in one fluid motion.
And suddenly June is clinging to this man who is like a human furnace.
Yeah.
She describes him as immovable, smelling of wood smoke and pine resin.
And that contrast is everything. The freezing, terrifying world outside versus the solid, inescapable heat of this man. It's the first sign that he's not just danger, he's also maybe protective captivity.
And then, the second they get inside his house, the author just pours on the emotional catnip.
Oh, the twist, it's so good.
You think you're in this gritty survival story, right?
Yeah.
The gruff hermit and the frozen city girl. And then you get the single dad reveal.
The execution is just perfect.
Yeah.
A little blur of pink pajamas comes running down the stairs, and a 5-year-old girl named Ellie just launches herself at this giant, scary man, screaming, "Daddy!"
The change in him is instantaneous. It's shocking. That storm cloud on his face just vanishes.
And it's replaced by this profound tenderness. He says, "I'm back, Bug."
Wow.
And that's it. You see the vulnerability inside the alpha. It reframes everything. You realize this man is capable of extreme violence, but also this incredibly deep, protective love.
The man who looked like he might leave her to die is actually this puddle of fatherly love. And that gives June an opening, a little bit of leverage.
Exactly. And the setup is perfect for keeping them together. The storm knocks out the power. They're completely isolated.
And his nanny, Martha, quits. Which, you can't blame her.
Not at all. So now Silas is trapped. He has a ranch to run and a 5-year-old to care for with no power in a blizzard.
So June, who needs a place to hide more than anything, she makes a deal.
A trade. sanctuary for service. She offers to be the nanny.
And Silas, even though he clearly despises her city plates and thinks she's weak, he can't say no.
He agrees, but he draws a line. 1 week, he says, or until the road's clear. But you just know that contract is designed to be broken.
Oh, absolutely. And the boundaries start breaking down almost immediately, starting with her clothes.
Yes. This is such a great narrative choice. Her own clothes are soaked and useless, so he gives her his.
His huge flannel shirts, his sweatpants.
And they're not just clothes. They smell like him. That wood smoke and pine and hot masculine skin, the book says, and she feels claimed.
It's that physical reminder of the proximity of his growing possessiveness, and the reader feels that tension building right along with June. She's both terrified and kind of thrilled by it.
And that tension finally just explodes in the barn.
The barn scene. Okay, so Silas gives her one rule, one simple ironclad rule for her own safety. Stay inside the house.
And she breaks it. She goes out to save the stray orange cat that's freezing by the woodshed.
It's defiance, but it comes from a place of compassion, right? That's who she is. But to Silas, it just looks reckless.
And it almost gets her killed. A huge slab of snow slides off the roof and buries her. Silas has to dig her out. And his terror, his fear of losing her, it just flips instantly into this pure, concentrated rage.
Which leads us right to the heart of this genre, the confrontation in the tack room.
It's so intense. He grabs her, pushes her onto a workbench. He has to make her understand his control. The language here is so raw, so dominant.
The pacing gets really slow and deliberate. It's meant to be uncomfortable, but also incredibly intimate.
He sees her flight instinct as a threat to her own survival. He tells her, if you act like a child, I'm going to treat you like one.
But then comes the line that defines everything.
You belong to me, June. You don't get to die. You don't get to leave. You're mine.
And what's so interesting is her reaction. She's completely ruined by it, but she doesn't want to run from him anymore.
No. The text says she wants to chase him. She's terrified of her own desire. The author uses this moment to completely flip her motivation. She's not running from fear anymore.
She's running towards safety, even if it looks like captivity.
That's the core of it. She's choosing the cage. Her whole life was being controlled by Derek, who used his power to hurt her. Now she's being controlled by Silas, who uses his power to protect her. It's a huge distinction.
So after that raw intensity,
Yeah.
the story pivots again into this period of just like pure domestic bliss.
Building the fortress.
Literally. They build a giant pillow fort, a nest in front of the fireplace to stay warm.
It's the ultimate cozy domestic scene. June, Ellie, and Silas all sleeping right next to each other in this tiny warm space.
And Silas, who is this unapproachable monster, he gives her this quiet admission of care. He rolls her closer to him for warmth.
With that classic line, if you get cold, move closer. I run hot. It's him saying, you're one of us now. You're in my circle.
And by morning, his control is solid, but it feels like protection. He just tells her, you're sleeping in my bed from now on.
And he says she fit with us. It's like a proposal almost. He basically tells her, you're wearing my ring metaphorically. You are mine.
And he backs it up with actions.
Yeah.
Small things that show he's paying attention.
Exactly. Remember, she almost froze saving that cat. So he goes to town and comes back with this top-of-the-line winter parka for her.
And the boots.
And the boots. A perfect pair of size 7 shearling boots. He noticed her shoe size. That kind of specific practical care is so powerful in these stories.
That's the moment for her, isn't it? The final wall comes down. She feels completely safe.
So safe that she finds that dead burner phone, whispers, goodbye, Derek, and just tosses it in a junk drawer. She's literally burying her past.
And of course, that is the exact moment the trap snaps shut.
It has to be. The story demands it. The past has to come back when she's at her most vulnerable, her most open.
They go to town for lunch. Everything feels peaceful. And then June sees a teenager in the diner taking a photo.
Silas just thinks she's being paranoid. He dismisses it. But the reader knows. We know that danger is real. That photo gets posted to a community Facebook group.
And that's all it takes. One single digital thread reconnecting her to the world she ran from.
It shatters the illusion that the mountain is this impenetrable fortress. And the tension just ratchets up that night. They're having this beautiful, intimate moment. Silas is asking her to stay for Christmas.
And then the driveway alarm goes off. ZZT, ZZT.
Chilling. And the real warning sign is that the vehicle coming up the drive has killed its lights. This isn't a neighbor. This is a siege.
And then June hears it. That phone she threw in the junk drawer, the one she thought was dead. It starts to vibrate.
Ugh, it's such a perfect, terrifying moment. Derek didn't just find her on Facebook. He's had her number this whole time, and he's calling the deadline to prove he knows exactly where she is.
The whole atmosphere just drops to freezing. Silas grabs his rifle. You hear that clack-clack of him chambering around.
This is it, the real deal. He tells June to lock the door, and as he walks outside, the headlights from the car hit the porch. And there's a figure in an expensive wool coat.
And that sound she's been dreading for weeks just cuts through the air. Ring, ring, ring. Derek is here. The fortress is under attack.
The confrontation is immediate. The psychological battle between these two alphas is just brutal. Derek is so arrogant. He says he knows about Ellie and he's there to take June. He says she belongs to me.
Big mistake.
The biggest. Silas, who has basically sworn she will never be a sacrifice again, he doesn't even hesitate. He draws his weapon and delivers the line readers live for.
You say her name again and I will bury you on this mountain.
And it's not an empty threat. He immediately fires a warning shot right into the SUV's tire. He's not trying to kill him. Not yet. He's trapping him.
But Derek's desperate. He cuts the power line, smashes a window in the mudroom, and it turns into this brutal hand-to-hand fight in the dark kitchen.
The chaos is just so well written. Derek fires his revolver, blows out the kitchen window, but Silas is just the superior predator.
He knows his enemy.
Completely. He snarls, "You didn't count the rounds." And then he just dismantles him. He delivers the final ultimatum that seals it. Up here, there's just the mountain and me.
The fortress holds. And we get the resolution that you absolutely need after all that. Derek gets the duct tape treatment and is handed over to the sheriff.
And Silas makes it clear to June, she is not a sacrifice. She's his family.
And this is the real payoff, right? The choosing the cage trope. June says it herself. She ran to be free, but what she found is what she really wanted. She says, I don't want to be free. I want to be yours.
It's that ultimate validation of their bond. It's powerful stuff for fans of this genre.
And the epilogue is just the perfect cherry on top.
Yeah.
1 year later, they're married, just a simple courthouse ring. June is 8 months pregnant.
And Silas is just this happy, relaxed dad playing in the snow with Ellie. It's the complete happily ever after.
And he gives her one last romantic gift, a silver necklace.
With a skeleton key on it. It ties everything together so perfectly. It's not a key to lock her in. It's a reminder that she's safe, that the door is open because she never has to lock the world out again.
This book just delivers on every single promise. You get the high-stakes escape, the deep connection with the single dad, that fire in the pillow fort, and the ultimate domestic HEA.
Yeah, if you want a hero who is terrifyingly capable, but also just completely tender and protective of his family, this is absolutely the book for you. It's fast, it's engaging, and it has all the spicy, possessive payoff you could want.
We can't recommend it enough. Go grab Hard Frost right now. It is the perfect, thrilling escape, where the biggest threat isn't the storm out there, it's the heart of the mountain man himself.
The novel ends with her tossing that phone, burying her past. But it does leave you with a question to think about. When you're running from someone with that much money and organization, how long can you really stay hidden? How long until the algorithms and the digital breadcrumbs catch up to the peaceful life you've built, even on a remote mountain in Montana? Something to mull over.